What up? It's KP. So I just want to congratulate everybody in KP's League of Hard Knocks for a great first week, and especially to the winners, and very especially to the week one winner, Road Rage, who not only won his contest but is at the top of the league standing. So congrats again to you, Road Rage. Your team is stacked full of awesome players. I expect nothing but the best from you this season because you've already set the standard. So with that said, we're moving on to week two, and I want to start doing my picks every week for week two. Every Wednesday, here I am, going to be giving out these picks, my opinion, based off of the week before and the history of weeks to come. I'll be giving my picks on who I think is going to win every week in this league. So I wanted to not do week one just basically because I wanted to see everybody played. I wanted to see if the stuff on paper translated to real life or real fantasy life. I wanted to see the wins, the losses, the blowouts, and everything in between. So now that I can give you a perfect guesstimate or my educated guess on who I think is going to win every week. So let's get started. So we're going to go with the lowest to the highest anticipated game. Let's say that. So you lose versus Josh King. So you lose goes in 0-1. Josh King 1-0. You lose actually lost last week. How ironic. And it wasn't a pretty loss. It wasn't even a graceful loss. It was just a loss. So going into week two, you lose needs redemption. They need to find a way to win. So they have notable players like Benjamin, Gronk, Cobb, Rodgers, but see, Aaron Rodgers is not enough. He's going to give you points. Aaron Rodgers will give you points pending an injury, but he's not enough. He's not going to give you all the points that you need to win against Josh King. Now, having said that, with Josh Bell, he's got to bench Josh King. He's got to bench Le'Veon Bell because obviously he's suspended. You got to switch Keenan Allen out because he's on the IR, and then Sammy Watkins, you got to make a decision on him. And if nothing changes and this is still happening, you still got Julius Jones is questionable. So if there are no moves or maybe some moves made between today and tomorrow, today, Wednesday, and Sunday, then you lose is going to get the first win, and Josh King is going to get the W. Now, if they do switch it up and they do make some choices, if they decide to keep Sammy Watkins, which I think you should do, make some switches to Le'Veon Bell and Keenan Allen, then I think Josh King has a really good chance of winning. Quarterback is Carson Palmer, which is decent, but not as good as Aaron Rodgers. So that would be the X factor if the switches were made. But I'm giving this game right now to you lose, who will get their first win in week two. So the second game is going to be Any Given Sunday versus Texans Girl 31. So Any Given Sunday is coming in 1-0. Texans Girl 31 is coming in 0-1. So Any Given Sunday is second. Texans Girl 31 is in eighth place. So this is kind of a lopsided matchup. The projections are close as they usually are, but it's really about if your best players have better than average days, and if your average players make their projected amounts. So, Any Given Sunday is they've got a lot going on there. They got Hopkins, Floyd, Miller, Antonio Gates, Fuller, and I like to point out Dan Bailey, who is the kicker for the Cowboys, who gave 17 points to Any Given Sunday on Sunday because Dallas made it to the red zone line and did not convert to touchdowns. So there's a lot of kicking going on Sunday. So Dan Bailey was a big factor in Any Given Sunday's win last week. Now, on Texans Girl 31, it's kind of, they lost last week, and it's kind of looking more of the same just because Russell Wilson he messed up his ankle. He tweaked it. He's probably going to play, but he's not going to be 100% because if you tweaked it last Sunday and you're practicing all week, you're just basically putting tape on it and trying to hope it doesn't make you have a limp or you feel any pain. So that's going to be an issue. Now, Texans Girl 31 has some solid players like Demaryius Thomas, Greg Olsen, but there are 5 questionable players on the starting roster. So if there are no changes made, and if there are only a few changes made, kind of similar to Josh King's situation, I fully expect Any Given Sunday to pull off this win this week. She'll get her second win. Texans Girl 31 will still be waiting for her first win. And then finally, the matchup of week 2, which is On Zeke versus Road Rage. Now, like I said before, Road Rage is coming off a major victory. 34 points in week 1 against his opponent. That was the margin of victory. And On Zeke is coming off a loss. She lost to Any Given Sunday and we won. And so On Zeke is going to be wanting her first win, and Road Rage is going to be wanting to build on his current leader standing. So where do they stand? So On Zeke looks stacked. Okay, so they may prove to be a good match for Road Rage if what they have on paper translates to real fantasy life. But we never know how it goes. Any Given Sunday, anybody could have a great game and anybody can have a bad game. So I guess with On Zeke, it really just matters if Zeke has a good game, because he had a mediocre game last week, and if AP comes to play, because he only had 2 to 3 points if you go and look, maybe 3 points. So it's really coming down to On Zeke and her players. So if AP shows up, Zeke has a better than average game than last time, she stands a really good chance to meet or beat Road Rage. Now, Road Rage, all you have to do is keep your better than average players better than average and have your players meet their projected amounts, and you should get the win. But I'm going to give this win to On Zeke because I feel like that if, like I said, if AP steps up and Ezekiel Elliott does his thing, she'll get a win. That's the X factor. So those are my picks for week 2. If you have any questions, hit me up on chat. You disagree completely, hit me up on chat. But we will be talking about this come next Tuesday, next Wednesday, when we talk about winners, big winners, who's at the top of the leaderboard. And then next Wednesday, we'll get back into week 3 picks.